Welcome to the Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where every cup tells a story, and every story starts with a sip. Join us on a journey of adventure, camaraderie, and of course, the finest brews, served hot and steeped in mystery. From dragons to ancient legends, we're brewing up more than just coffee. Today's tale begins 3 days after the summer solstice, and the warmth still clung to the tavern walls like a sleeping breath. Everything was beginning to feel like it might return to normal. But in a place like this, normal never lasts long. But before we dive into today's adventure, a quick word from our sponsor.
Welcome, adventurers, to the Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where every cup is a quest, and every sip, a story. Start your day with the boldness of rogues rolling thunder, Guatemalan beans aged in whiskey barrels, delivering a brew as daring as a rogue's escapade. For those with a sweet tooth, Bard's-inspired hazelnut offers a harmonious fusion of rich hazelnut and decadent chocolate, reminiscent of a bard's sweet serenade. Not a coffee connoisseur? Our artisan teas, like the delicate moonlit jasmine or the comforting cider harvest, promise a journey through flavors both exotic and familiar. Craving something enchanting? Dreamspell chai awaits, blending bold spices into a potion that stirs both body and soul. Join the Dungeon Brew crew and wear your passion proudly with our exclusive gear. Embark on your flavor adventure today at dungeonbrewcoffee.com. Dungeon Brew Coffee, brewing with initiative, rolling with life.
Now, grab your mug, settle in, and get ready for the next chapter in our brewing saga. Episode 26, Whimsy Wards. Sunlight trickled through the tall trees in golden threads, pooling where it pleased and skipping where it didn't. Wild vines clung stubbornly to the tavern's wooden frame, curling around shutters that still bore the bruises of the last storm. In the garden below, patches moved with quiet purpose, snipping herbs, inspecting stems, whispering now and then to the more temperamental plants. A few bees hummed in agreement. Nearby, Bradicus grunted as he wrangled a crooked shutter back into place, muttering something about wind spirits with no manners. Java scurried between the two, balancing tools in his claws, fetching nails, and offering helpful advice whether it was asked for or not. It was a rare kind of morning, the kind that pretends to be ordinary, right before everything changes.
That's strange, the lemon balm's blooming early, and the chamomile's all curled in on itself like it's seen frost. Could just be a weird patch of weather. Or it could be something else.
Hey Java, hand me that iron latch. Storm, rip these shutters wide open. I'm not letting another breeze turn our place into a birdhouse.
Sure. But do you feel that? The air, it's thicker than smoke, and sweeter than it should be. That's not jasmine. That's promise.
Guys? Fireflies aren't supposed to be out before dusk, right?
The laughter came on the wind, too cold for summer. Leaves rustled against one another like they were whispering. The light grew dim, though no cloud passed the sun. And at the forest's edge, the shadows seemed to stretch, inviting.
They're here. I can feel it.
Who's they?
The Fae Council.
They stepped out of the trees like they'd never left them. Barefoot and glowing, woven in shadow silk and petal threads. There was something beautiful about them, but like firelight, radiant, flickering, and not to be trusted too closely.
Greetings, keepers of the brew. We come to speak of moonlight and memory, of stories waiting to be told again.
She bows, not deeply. The others mirror her, each with an unnerving grace.
I felt you stirring the threads. You could have knocked.
We prefer invitations unspoken. They are always more honest.
The Fae had arrived, with polished smiles and ancient eyes. And though no one said it aloud, the truth settled over the companions like mist over stone. Nothing in the tavern's story was going to be simple anymore. They stood in a half-circle, Fae to one side, companions to the other, like dancers before the music starts. For a long moment, no one moved. Then Lady Thistlefern stepped forward, silver thistle crown catching the light.
Dungeon Brew. We have watched your little refuge rise from ruin. A hearth relit, a threshold reborn. It is a place of mingled paths, mortal and myth alike.
She's been spying on us?
Probably. You don't wear a crown like that unless you know everything and pretend you don't.
We come with purpose. A festival long in slumber stirs again. One of memory, transformation, and the sweet ache between what is and what was.
You mean like a party? With cider and fireworks?
Yes, and no. The Festival of Gleaming Echoes is a reverence. It remembers what you forget. It shapes what you cannot name.
That sounds like a trap dressed up as a parade.
Only for those who walk crooked beneath moonlight.
The name alone stirred something deep, an echo in old bones, in forgotten dream fragments. The Festival of Gleaming Echoes, not spoken aloud in 3 centuries.
That festival hasn't been held since the veils nearly split in the mountain valleys. Why here? Why now?
Because this place is balanced, rooted but open, strange enough to be stable. You brew more than coffee here. You brew stories, connections, possibility.
So you want to throw a ghost party at our tavern? On All Hallow Eve. The spookiest, thinniest, veiliest night of the year.
Do we get a cut of ticket sales?
You think they use tickets?
If this is about transformation, could we craft brews that change flavor based on memory? Or reveal forgotten feelings with each sip?
Yes, exactly so. Imagine moonleaf espresso that remembers your first kiss, twilight cream that carries your mother's lullaby, brews that shimmer with morning and joy.
We need star petal, dusk mint, probably veiled water from a shaded spring.
Spiced cider with blooming cinnamon bursts. And emberfruit glaze. Oh, and honeyed fog cakes.
Don't forget roasted root pies. We could use the fire pit out back again. If it stops trying to whisper riddles at people.
You're all forgetting something. This isn't just a party. It's a threshold. And they chose All Hallow Eve for a reason.
'Cause that's when the veil thins.
Yes, and we must walk carefully, which is why there must be a test.
At her gesture, the clearing dimmed. The light of the tavern behind them stretched long and thin. A ripple passed through the air like a page being turned. And before anyone could move, they were no longer in the clearing.
Pocket realm. Twi'lide bond. Definitely Fae.
Anyone else smell? Baked apples?
One truth, one trial, one selfless choice. Speak without sound and strengthen your voice.
It's a test of will. To host a place between worlds, we have to prove we can handle the magic.
They were each drawn to different corners of the orchard. Java followed the scent of warmth and cocoa and found a memory he'd forgotten, his very first brew, shared with someone he couldn't now name. Patches stepped through an archway of thornless briar and saw a vision, her grandmother warning her, voice cracked with worry, never take the Fae's ink, child. Not unless you want your soul to shimmer. Nyved found a tree bearing every spice he's never tasted, but to pluck them meant forgetting one he already loved. Bradicus stood before a mirror made of smoke. It offered him a vision, a future where the tavern was famous, and he was alone. In the center of it all stood a pedestal. One must leave something behind, memory, mark, or meaning. Only then would the tavern be deemed anchored enough to host the echoes.
Choose carefully. The gift must be honest.
I'll give a memory. I know which one too.
I'll take the mark.
The realm shuddered. Light folded back into itself. And in a breath, they were back.
It is done. The tavern may host the Festival of Gleaming Echoes.
I don't remember what I gave. Just that I gave something.
The mark's not visible to mortal eyes. But I can feel it humming under the skin.
I really want to write a menu now.
So, we're doing this. A festival for the Fae. On the spookiest night of the year.
The veil has been touched. The countdown has begun.
The test was passed. The cost, paid. But magic never leaves a place unchanged. Not truly. As the companion stood among the curling grass and long shadows, Patch's hand lingering over her collarbone where her new mark hid, the Fae Council stepped forward, not triumphant, not cruel, just inevitable.
You have proven yourselves. The festival shall take root in your halls, your brew, your blood, your boundary.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
There must be protections. Wards on every threshold. No binding glamours. No unsanctioned pacts made on these grounds.
Agreed. We are not here to trap, we are here to echo. But echoing can disturb foundations.
I'll inscribe intent runes at the main bar and cellar door. The tavern will resonate with our will during the festival.
I'll infuse the food and drinks with traceable markers. Nothing leaves this place unchanged, so we'll track the change.
I'll stand guard and play friendly host. With my broomstick in one hand and the emergency axe in the other.
Lady Thistlefern listened to each term with a smile both too wide and perfectly polite. She didn't argue. She didn't need to. She was already part of the room, the route, the plan.
Then let the pact be sealed. Not in ink, but in rhyme. Root to roof and flame to bone. Let veil be thinned, but not overthrown. Brew the memory, mark the ground. Let echoes rise, but not unbound.
One by one, they spoke their names, just the ones used in daily life, but not the ones carried deep within that could relinquish their autonomy. Each name shimmered in the contract, fading like mist until only breath remained. The final seal came with silence, and the faint scent of violets and ash.
That's the land accepting the terms.
The ink, it burned just for a second. But still.
And the tavern? Is it ready?
No one answered. But the building did. In its old bones and its freshly swept hearth, it answered. Inside the tavern, quiet, fire crackling softly, mugs clink, and Nyved hums softly as he stirs a warming pot. A soft wind whistles through the cracks in the shutters.
There. This black-flamed candle will keep the doorways clear of ill intention, for now.
To gleaming echoes, then. May they be loud and relatively harmless.
We've set the date. Now we live with it.
I can't stop thinking about what I gave up, that memory. It feels like a song I almost remember.
Maybe you'll taste it in a brew someday. Maybe it'll come back with a flavor.
Or maybe it was never yours to keep forever. That's what echoes are.
Outside, violets bloomed in the herb garden, wrong season, wrong soil. And in the deepest part of the cellar, something whispered once, then fell silent. For now, the festival of gleaming echoes had found its home. And in doing so, had cracked the world open just a little wider than before. The fire is low, the mugs are empty, and tonight's tale has come to an end. But the journey is far from over. Thank you for gathering with us at Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where adventure brews with every sip. Join us next time as new challenges arise, mysteries deepen, and the magic of the tavern unfolds. If you enjoyed this taste of adventure, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a new episode. We'll save a seat for you at the tavern. See you soon.